Hey, fellow leaders! Welcome to today's Military Writing Smarter in 6 segment about the best writing advice ever, coming at you from the Military Writing Command Center. To keep this within 6 minutes, I'm going to read you the super short article that seriously changed my life. Well, at least it completely changed the way in which I write. Let's dig in. As promised, I'm about to share with you the best reading on writing that I've ever seen. It's absolutely a game changer. The author is Dr. Betty S. Flowers, who was a professor of English at the University of Texas and who also served as the former director of the Lyndon B. Johnson Presidential Library. In October of 1981, Dr. Flowers published her article, Madman, Architect, Carpenter, Judge, Roles in the Writing Process, in the journal Language Arts. It only takes a few minutes to go through, so please follow along with me. And let's read. What's the hardest part of writing? I ask on the first day of class. Getting started, someone offers, groaning. No, it's not getting started, a voice in the back of the room corrects. It's keeping on once you do get started. I can always write a sentence or two, but then I get stuck. Why? I ask. I don't know. I'm writing along and all of a sudden I realize how awful it is and I tear it up. Then I start over again and after 2 sentences, the same thing happens. Let me suggest something which might help, I say. Turning to the board, I write 4 words. Madman, Architect, Carpenter, Judge. Then I explain. What happens when you get stuck is that 2 competing energies are locked horn to horn, pushing against each other. One is the energy of what I'll call your madman. He's full of ideas, writes crazily and perhaps rather sloppily, gets carried away by enthusiasm or anger, and if really let loose, could turn out 10 pages an hour. The second is a kind of critical energy, what I'll call the judge. He's been educated and knows a sentence fragment when he sees one. He peers over your shoulder and says, "That's trash," with such authority that the madman loses his crazy confidence and shrivels up. You know the judge is right. After all, he speaks with the voice of your most imperious English teacher. But for all his sharpness of eye, he can't create anything. So you're stuck. Every time your madman starts to write, your judge pounces on him. Of course, this is to over-dramatize the writing process, but not entirely. Writing is so complex, involves so many skills of heart, mind, and eye, that sitting down to a fresh sheet of paper can sometimes seem like, quote, the hardest work among those not impossible, as Yeats put it. Whatever joy there is in the writing process can come only when the energies are flowing freely, when you're not stuck. And the trick to not getting stuck involves separating the energies. If you let the judge with his intimidating carping come too close to the madman and his playful creative energies, the ideas which form the basis for your writing will never have a chance to surface. But you can't simply throw out the judge. The subjective, personal outpourings of your madman must be balanced by the objective, impersonal vision of the educated critic within you. Writing is not just self-expression, it is communication as well. So start by promising your judge that you'll get around to asking his opinion, but not now. And then let the madman energy flow. Find what interests you in the topic, the question, or emotion that it raises in you, and respond as you might to a friend or an enemy. Talk on paper, page after page, and don't stop to judge or correct sentences. Then, after a set amount of time, perhaps stop and gather the paper up and wait a day. The next morning, ask your architect to enter. She will read the wild scribbling saved from the night before and pick out maybe 1/10 of the jottings as relevant or interesting. You can see immediately that the architect is not sentimental about what the madman wrote. She's not going to save every crumb for posterity. Her job is simply to select large chunks of material and to arrange them in a pattern that might form an argument. The thinking here is large, organizational, paragraph-level thinking. The architect doesn't worry about sentence structure. No, the sentence structure is left for the carpenter, who enters after the essay has been hewn into large chunks of related ideas. The carpenter nails these ideas together in a logical sequence, making sure each sentence is clearly written, contributes to the argument of the paragraph, and leads logically and gracefully to the next sentence. When the carpenter finishes, the essay should be smooth and watertight. And then the judge comes around to inspect. Punctuation, spelling, grammar, tone, all the details which result in a polished essay become important only in this last stage. These details are not the concern of the madman who's come up with them, or the architect who's organized them, or the carpenter who's nailed the ideas together sentence by sentence. Save details for the judge. And that's the end of this article. I'm wondering if you can relate to some of the issues that Dr. Flowers mentioned, like having trouble getting started on writing assignments, writing but then deleting and going through that frustrating cycle, or just kind of spinning out and feeling like you don't have a direction with your writing. In my opinion, Dr. Flowers absolutely nails it. She identifies that nearly all of us struggle, to some extent, with the competition between being a creator and being a critic within our own writing. I hope this Smarter in 6 segment really resonated with you. Next time, I'll break down Flowers' article and really show you how her ideas apply to you and your writing. You know I'm here for you, and I'm excited to help you to become a more confident, capable writer. Like and subscribe down below. Until next time, I got your 6.